Riley Gaines called out Caitlin Clark, Simone Biles. Former NCAA swimmer turned conservative influencer Riley Gaines has been outspoken about the issue of transgender athletes in sports. Gaines rose to prominence when she spoke out against transgender former University of Pennsylvania swimmer Lia Thomas a few years ago. In 2023, Gaines argued against the inclusion of transgender athletes in women's sports in front of Senate Judiciary Committee, and she's continued to fight for her cause in various ways, including through her partnership with XXXI Athletics. Calling itself the only athletic brand that stands up for women's sports, XXXI Athletics is clear in its mission and unapologetic about our goal. The company is the first athletic wear brand to speak publicly in favor of banning transgender competitors in women's sports. In a new interview with Fox News Digital, Gaines called out two of the most prominent women's sports stars in America, Caitlin Clark and Simone Biles, and urged them to partner with XXXFI and join the movement to keep transgender women out of women's sports. People who I think would be critical to this movement are, of course, people like Caitlin Clark, people like Simone Biles, which I think is definitely a stretch, but these are women who have been able to shatter glass ceilings and break barriers, who are role models to young girls across the country, Gaines said. To have them emphatically say they trans athletes do not belong in women's sports the issue would be solved across all levels like yesterday if they were willing to do this. If we're being honest, there's no chance of Gaines inspiring Biles or Clark to come out in support of her goals. Even if one of them feels the same way as Gaines, they are not going to admit so publicly, as both the most decorated American gymnast and the new face of the WNBA are pretty careful about any major statements they give. We are always encouraging more female athletes to join the fight, and we'd love to work with anyone standing up for the integrity of women's sports. We are in constant conversations with those who have stood up or are considering doing so, XXAXY founder Jennifer C. said to Fox News Digital. We believe this ends when the athletes defend women's sports in large numbers. We don't expect Biles or Clark to be one of those athletes.